Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft, and these words coming from my mouth right now, they're pretty much the first words that I've said of the day, and that is so often the case, actually. I get up first thing in the morning, and I go straight into recording mode. Oh, my voice just feels a little bit, a little bit ropey, but that's cool. And here in England, it has been snowing. Oh, my back garden is filled up with snow. It looks amazing. I've got the blinds open so I can look out and see the snow while I play, and it was snowy all yesterday. It's been fantastic. I haven't really been out playing in the snow. That's not something I would particularly want to do, but I always love it when it snows, and the atmosphere and the mood is just lovely. I love it. But last episode, let's talk about Minecraft. Oh, jeez, there's a spider. They know what I'm going to be doing this episode already. Jeez, I'm sorry, buddies. You and your friends are going to get farmed. That's part of what we're doing. First of all, we're coming over here to the Vex Cathedral to leave either a peace offering or to antagonize the Vex. I left it up to a vote, and I find it really interesting. Most of you voted that you were going to, you wanted me to antagonize them, right? This is the antagonizing chest, so we're going to leave this behind. I should probably rename it From Asuma or something like that. And you won with about, last time I checked it was probably about 15% more of the vote, but if we went by the comments alone, they won by a landslide to say that we should ally with the Vex, and I found that rather interesting. Why am I doing this? To rename the box, yes. Asuma's offering. That's right. And so I was thinking about it. If we were to ally with the Vex and participate in their pranks, think about how we could help them go to another level. Like, I've got a lot of resources, I know how to farm stuff, I'm up for doing big builds. I mean, it would be a fearsome team, wouldn't it? And I think that's why people who wanted me to team up with the Vex were quite vocal about it, because they realised, hang on a second, this could be crazy. But unfortunately, we're going to leave behind this thing. So, Vex offering table, there you are. Asuma's offering, that is going to anger the Vex. My base is going to be covered in something or other before long, right? Anyway, I was thinking, well, what are we going to do with this other box full of treats? I mean, I'm sure someone would like that, wouldn't they? And there is something going on the server that someone could have that. There is Secret Santa, and I guess whatever name I get, you're going to know what I'm giving them, right? Well, I guess I spoiled the fun of it a little bit. There are like very thematic things popping up around this giant evil nether portal at the moment. We've got a giant birthday cake. The two of those don't really go together. Now we've got a Christmas pud. I feel like we should come over here and build another cake for the fun of it, you know what I mean? This looks lovely, by the way. This is awesome. This is false. You can always rely on false for an amazing build. Welcome to Secret Santa. And over here, instructions and paper. I'm assuming we're going to rename and put our name on that. Is there an anvil in here? There is. Also, why is there a painting and 2 buttons? Secret Santa 2017. We must not sign this book. Welcome to Secret Santa 2017. If you'd like to participate... wait. If you would like to take part... I just made up a word. Please read the following instructions on the following pages. Rename a piece of paper with your name. Insert your name paper into one of the 2 dispensers in front of you. Return here after Wednesday the 13th to draw a name. Okay, that's good. Optional. Once you've selected... a random Secret Santa, press the button to find out if they've been naughty or nice. I am actually not going to do that because we're going to give them a nice present. Okay, and that's just elaborating on that a little bit more. Santa Symmetry, brilliant. Cool, so we're going to rename a piece of paper with Asuma. It looks like there was probably a stack there with a 6th person to sign up. That's pretty cool. I'm the early bird on this. I got here as soon as I read False's message. So I just put my name into one of the dispensers, right? We know who's... Okay, we know who else is doing this now. I'm going to put my one in this one over here to even it out. Oh, I should have read the sign. That's the naughty or nice. Okay, gotcha. And what happens? Do you put it back in after you've used it? Yeah. Okay, I thought Thulsa had done some magic redstone there where it could automatically restock the one you took from. That would be really impressive, actually. I would not even know how to start making a contraption like that with rename paper. But anyway, it's time for us to head back to our base. We are going to be building a string farm in this episode. I believe I said that I would finish this Nether tunnel between episodes, right? Please forgive me, it's December, it's the busiest time of the year, the amount of distractions and things popping up. Goodness me, I totally spaced out on that one and completely forgot about it. But coming down here, I had quite a lot of comments from people saying, Asumi, you derp, what you should have done is alternated your redstone to either side of the tripwire hooks, and that would have avoided all the problems with redstone wire. You are absolutely right. I just got locked into that mindset of trying to do everything on the one side. I just didn't really think it through, did I? But I'm happy with this. It's very cool. And no surprise, I'm over here with no boats, because I don't really carry a boat around with me, and I've got to get used to doing that now. We don't want to go to the main part of our island. We actually want to go off in this direction, and I believe the spider farm that we're going to build is closer towards us where this portal is here. So maybe what we end up with is 2 portals in the middle of this area here to take you to the 2 different farms. So I'm going to attempt to synchronize that straight away. So if ever we need to go through the portals to go grab resources or something, I don't find myself traveling further each time, right? Although it's really not too much of a distance, because just back down here it is on the left. So this tunnel leads all the way to our main island area. If we could see through all of this stone, you would see the base up ahead of us. And on the left here we have 2 spawners that are right next to one another, just down here, and then there's another 2 spawners in the area as well. What I haven't done is checked if we can get all of them to light up at the same time. So that is one of the first things that we're going to do. Now I think it's going to be a little bit of a stretch, as the other one is down there, and I believe there is another one sort of underneath me somewhere. Like, I'm pretty much just aiming blind, but somewhere down there I think the other one is. So it might be a bit of a stretch, but I will get my dig on. I will get some obsidian so that we can try and get that portal hooked up, and then soon we'll be ready to start digging. We're gonna use full damage to kill these spiders. So here in the Nether there are lots and lots of sheep, and I don't remember why they're here in the Nether or why I needed them. They might go because they're kind of in the way of this area, where we're going to have 2 portals before we have our tunnel over here. I managed to hook it up so that when you go through this one, you go to the bone farm. When you come back through it, you do come out of this one, but that's not really a problem because they are both hooked up to the locations we want to go to. And this is going to take us to our quad spider farm. Now, I've made a little platform on the middle where we can stand and look at all of the spawners at the same time. However, the positioning of this portal means that one's slightly hidden, but you can see it's clearly in range. If I walk... Well, actually, no, it's quite tight, really. But if I walk back over here by 1 block, that's still activated. So it's probably activated when we're standing here. And you can see that this is basically the spot for getting all 4 of them to go at once. Now, something that I forgot was how low down in the world we are. We are at Y25. If we wanted to use full damage to kill these spiders, we need a good drop of around 20 below there. So this one might be a little bit close. Those 2 are probably going to be fine. That one down there is going to have some trouble. So we might make like a water stream thing to move them up and drop them down again. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to play out, but the very first thing that I did around here was set up a beacon so that we could get our instant mine on, right? That's always a priority. And up there somewhere there's some iron bars holding back the water, and yes, we're below an ocean. So we are ready to do some digging, but I do need to brainstorm the layout a little bit. This side over here is going to be pretty obvious, right? We drop them down and kill them, pick up their items with hoppers, something like that. But I do want to make this a multi-farm as well. Remember, we can get the mob heads on this server. So that is a cave spider, that is a regular spider, and those are 2 heads I don't think we actually have yet in our collection. So we need to make this so that we can run it automatically and get string, or we can kill them and try and get some mob heads as well. So I think I've sussed all of this out. We are going to have just enough space to drop these spiders here all the way down. They need 20 blocks to fall and die, and we've got 27 to work with. Bear in mind that the bottom 5 are going to have bedrock. Now when it comes to the cave spiders, they can fall 17 blocks and die straight away, so that'll also give us just enough space over here to set that up. When it comes to this one, I think what I want to do is dig a hole below it so the spiders will fall out of the escape range of the spawner. So if this thing had like 6 spiders right around it, it wouldn't spawn anymore. So we drop them down so it means this thing can continue spawning. And we'll probably push them into water and then push them into cactuses and then pick up the drops with hoppers. That's what I'm thinking on that side. But when it comes to digging out the space around this, what you usually do is go out by 4 blocks, right? Because that's the edge of the spawning area. The thing is, spiders are a little bit bigger than that. So with a regular spider, you actually want to go out by 5 blocks. So we're going to make that bit a little larger than usual. But because this is a regular cave spider, we're only going to go out by 4 blocks. That's 1, 2, and then 3 and 4. So these areas have been fully prepped for digging, and I brought my camera account onto the server, which means while we dig, we can also listen to some music as well. Alrighty then, we got one massive hole over on this side and we've got a smaller hole over here, and I was starting to think, while we work on these farms, we should have one of them running, because this one over here is not going to be used in 2 ways. So I've gone down there and I've actually started figuring out everything that needs to be done to get this thing up and running, so it can produce string for us while we're working on the other farms, right? Seems like a pretty good idea. So down here at the bottom level, I've dug out some space to put in some cactus, which is what we're going to use to kill the spiders. And unfortunately, due to where this is, I don't think we're going to be able to put this any lower than where I'm putting it right now. And we're going to put that going all the way across, and then we're going to put cactus on here. I've dug away the edges as well, so you can place cactus here. If there's like a block behind it, won't let you place it, and accidentally places a torch instead. So yeah, we'll have cactus going all the way along here, and then at the front we're going to have a row of hoppers to pick up the string. So when these spiders die, their string might end up on the cactus, but you know, most of the time it doesn't, so we can pick it up using these hoppers here. Now the ones at the back might end up being a little bit redundant, as the cactus itself might be a little bit redundant as well, because spiders are too wide, which means they're never actually going to go into this space here. They're never going to make contact with the cactus at the back there. We should also think about filling in these spaces. Hi, why did I place you there? That's weird. When you look at the cactus, it highlights the edge of like the box that is slightly smaller than a full block. Yeah, I can't click through that space. If I look over the top of it, that's really weird. We need to do this because we don't want mobs spawning in that little space, because we're going to fill in the top of that, right? So all of that's been filled in. Very good. That can go in there, I guess. And there we go. Right, so at the moment, the cactus could technically clip on this block and then drop off into the hoppers. It's a cactus farm as well, but we don't want spiders climbing up, getting stuck directly on top of the cactus, because that might actually be, you know, most of the string getting destroyed on the cactus. So if we do that, in theory, the water is going to push the spiders all the way along here, and I don't think they're going to wall climb unless they see a player. I believe that's how it works. So this is going to be fully enclosed, meaning that they're not even going to pay attention to what the player's doing. So they should just get pushed by the water into the string, and this has already been counted back. So from this point, let's place in the last bit of coal. This point right here is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam! So that means the water's going to flow over the edge and go down there. So let's break some of this stuff and get it doing just that. It's going to need a block update to join them together. Although, we could technically leave it like that, because the spiders are too wide, so wherever they land, they're going to get pushed by water. It does actually flow all the way into the spaces, but that's kind of weird, so I'll give it some block updates, and I'll connect all of this together. Alright, so this block here is directly above the spawner. And if we break that, we can drop into the room. Now, this space here, a spider could technically spawn in, but there's a block there. So no spider will be able to spawn and hit us, and we won't be able to fall into the room. We can reach all of these blocks. How convenient is that? And then we can actually pay attention to the farm, but we must recognise that the spiders can see us. That one is looking at me, so although it might get pushed into the cactus, it could also wall climb, and it's taking damage. That's a promising sign, but I think the best way to observe this farm at the moment is with a camera account, and then after a while it dies, and hopefully the string has been picked up by the hopper. I guess we can have a quick look because we set this thing up here. If I tap spacebar, I've got my elytra wings on so we can descend quickly, and there we go. We got some string already. That's fantastic. And oh, look at this. They can all see me, but they're still all getting wrecked by the cactus. They're not really coming towards me either, are they? Now they're trying to. Alright, that looks pretty good. Yes, we're farming string. Excellent. Right, let's bring on the camera account though and make some observations here. So here come 3 spiders, and like the fate of the rest that I've observed, they are just going to die. Basically, you'll see them bob up and down in water, but because they're passive, because they're not tracking a player, they don't attempt any form of wall climbing or movement to escape the cactus here, and the water is just going to continuously push it into the cactus at the front. So the farm works absolutely fine. Here come another 4. Again, occasionally they bob up and down, but they don't actually climb up the wall or anything like that. So it's a pretty good trap for killing spiders. I've come to a sad realization, which is that this system isn't going to work. I was going to lay down slabs, so we were going to put down tons of rails underneath it. And to be fair, that would have been quite an expensive system to set up. So the spiders would have come all the way down, and a minecart going back and forth would have picked up their drops. Now, I wanted to make this mode switch so that we could kill the spiders manually. And this is when I realized that, hang on a second, when we're down at this level, we're not activating the spawners. So we're not going to be able to go ahead with this, unfortunately. But I wanted to show you a mechanic that I discovered because I was messing around with putting water streams on top of the slabs. And a spider that falls into the water will sit in this space here, but it won't be able to breathe. It'll actually just stay on the slab, and it will drown in the water that's above its head. And that was pretty cool, but it's not really useful down here, unfortunately, because it doesn't move the spider. But if we, the player, are down here trying to kill the spiders manually, we're not activating the spawners, so we're not going to continuously spawn them. So all of this that we were going to build down here, and this big dig that I've done, is actually kind of pointless. As we head up the ladder here, for us to manually kill the spiders, we will need to be standing somewhere around this height, right? And we need the spiders to be at the same height as us in order to kill them. So it looks like we're going to have to come up with a different idea altogether, and that big dig was a big waste of time. Okay, go to the comment box down below. Hashtag learning with X. I'm not actually going to teach you anything though. That was a terrible hashtag. Tell me why there's a skeleton down here. I want to see who knows. I know why there's a skeleton down there. I bet plenty of you will figure that one out. Anyway, yeah, look at that. I found a solution. Okay, Magma Blocks. So we can have a permanent water setup that'll push spiders into Magma Blocks. They will take damage, they will drop items, and then a hopper minecart system down below will pick them up. Now, usually when you build these, you have fancy unloading stations, but I realized we can simplify this just by having 3 hoppers. That thing is not picking up a large amount of items. It is coming back very often, and when it goes over these 3 hoppers right here, it will probably take out the entire contents of that minecart hopper. Let's actually try and do it. Well, I put in a lot of items, but okay, I've put in 9 gravel. It didn't actually take the items before, and now it's down to 4. And then when it comes back, it's down to 0. So it unloads about 5 items at a time, right? And that's probably more than we're ever going to get as it goes back and forth. And maybe we add an extra hopper to compensate. We've got the same system going on down here, except you don't have the other stuff that I showed you. So it's just the magma blocks this time. Let's put the minecart hopper on it so it can start to go back and forth. So over here, what we can do is we can stand here, and while the spiders are taking damage, we can then, through these gaps, attack them. We can actually walk through this gap as well, but that's not something I would advise doing. So this one I chose because it has the spider and the cave spider, which means we can get both of those heads by attacking the spiders, right? The one on that side down there is only a cave spider, so that one's going to be automatic. So the next step for us is once again to activate the spawners. And if I stick my head up here, I've already done some preparation. So I'm just going to jump in here and knock out all of these. And this is the cave spider only room right here, so you can see that the magma blocks are down the bottom there, and that means the cave spiders are going to start spawning. So let's use you as a demonstration. Look at it, it's taking damage, and pretty fast as well, probably about as fast as the cactus does. And then the sucker's going to die, his string's going to drop on the magma block, and we can't quite see it. It's already been picked up. Excellent stuff. If it doesn't land there though, the water's going to push it onto the magma block, so it will get picked up. Right, next thing for me to do is to head down to this area, and I put this at a very specific point. So when we're standing roughly in these 5 blocks in the middle here, we will be loading both of the spawners. If I go over to the corner, the cave spider one at the back actually won't be loading. So we've got cave spiders, we've got spiders, they can see me, they're coming towards me, they can hit me through this wall, which is slightly terrifying considering how far back I'm standing. And now they're making an absolute racket. Goodness me. But this is it now. I've just got to stand here and whack them over and over again. And eventually, we'll get ourselves a mob head. Or 2. Yes, or 2. That was me finishing off the sentence from the last clip. Because there's spiders. And I think that was a bad transition. Yeah, we finally got both of them. Boy, oh boy, did this one here take a long time. That one dropped pretty quickly, actually. And I've been over here for ages now. I even repaired my axe. This thing is an XP farm as well, of course. And I initially started off with iron bars over here, which I thought looked really cool. Thing is, cave spiders can hit you when you're standing here through that gap. That really sucks. So then I tried some cobblestone walls. They could still hit me. So then I tried some full blocks and I realised I wasn't getting the XP. So now it's half slabs and it feels a bit weird to stand this far back, but they won't hit you from here. Any closer though and you will get hit. So I've been editing the video and realised I forgot to mention something. The mob heads that drop from these cave spiders, it took a ridiculous amount of time to get one from it. So I went and checked the website and the chance of getting a cave spider head was not the same as a regular spider, and it was ridiculously low, which I thought was silly. So I've gone and updated that. If you would like to, have a reasonable chance of getting a cave spider head in your world, go download the latest update of that on the website. Go to the more mob heads page. But yes, I did eventually get both of them, the cave spider head and the spider head. Let's put this one on our head to celebrate because yep, now we can look like this when we hang out on the server. That would be kind of scary if we wander into another player. I want to ask you all something for the next episode, or just one of them in the future basically. Would you like to see me come back here and work on the aesthetics of all of this, or should we just leave it looking janky like it is? That is up to you. Vote in the poll that'll be on your screen, and also while you're there, leave a like on the episode as always. Thank you for your support. That's where I'm going to wrap this one up, so let me know what you want to see if you want to see this area done, and I'll see you in the next episode of Hermitcraft. So, ciao for now. Bye-bye.